Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about Roland Martins talking on Candace Owen, and a lot of people also weigh in on that and why they are not even trying to give her any chance and all that, and that she should continue with the community that she called community because that she never took us as a community because right from the onset she made it known that she does not belong here. I mean, like, she's not part of black community, and now things turned around for her. She is looking for a way to come back to the black community, and now there is a post she actually made on Instagram, and she actually deleted the post, but before she did, Roland Martins actually grabbed that up, and guess what? She was like that the most brutal smells she has ever faced was the media attempt to convince black people, I mean her own community, that she hated them. Now let's get into this. Did I hear it was a media attempt, or she actually came out to tell us that she does not belong here, and she also said so many horrible things about black people, tell even saying concurring that as slaves benefited slaves, right? And also concur with Praga U and so many other things that she has done. So I do not think it is the media. It was Candace Owen telling us that she does not come from black community. Let's get into this video.
Listen, I'm still not feeling my best, but Roland Martin slayed Candace Owens, and it put a smile on my face.
Now, why am I unpacking all of this? It's because Candace Owens has been fired from she's no longer at Turning Point, no longer at PragerU, no longer at the Daily Wire, and so she's not, out there wearing jacked up hairstyles with no proper edge up. So she's sitting here now, trying to reintroduce herself into Black America. She now wants to have dialogue with Black America. And let me be real clear. I'm not questioning her blackness. I'm not saying that she's not black. What I am saying is, you're not welcome to the cookout. You're not welcome to any of our events. You're not welcome to any of our conferences. Because see, when you choose to be a self-hating black person, and then you want us to then listen to you, no. That's not how these things work. Because see, what you are desperate for, you are now desperate for a platform, and you think that, let me just say, the things that I want to say. Let me just say these. No, that's not how these things work. Because see, Candace, you have trashed black people. You have denigrated black people. You have called us victims. You have danced before white conservatives. And you enjoyed your time on that stage, vilifying black people, trashing black people left and right. And now you actually want to come back and have conversations with black people. And you want us to accept that. You want us to forget all of the things that you said. See, we can't do that, y'all. We can't forget all the stuff that you said. Sort of reminds me of that Elmer Fudd sounding fool, Jesse Lee Peterson. He has said some of the most vile, despicable things about black people you've ever heard in your life. So remember when I did that podcast, PBD, Patrick Bet David, called himself an independent, who's a conservative? No. So check this out. So we got this email here. Hello, Tony. I just left you a voicemail. My name's Tony Naimi, a talent booker for the PBD broadcast. They wanted to extend an invite to me to be on their podcast with Jesse Lee Peterson. As you know from Roland's previous appearance on the show, PDB is a fair and balanced host who respects his guests' views and missions. He ain't fair and balanced, especially if you saw my post where he couldn't even the first time I was on there. Please let me know what we can do to get this arranged. I look forward to your reply. Oh, I replied. Because see, normally, when you have these, you know, these things, people just sort of say, no, I'll pass. I couldn't do that. I said this: Tanya passed on your email to me. Let me be blunt as possible. I will never appear with Jesse Lee Peterson. As the song by Bishop Bullwinkle, Hail to the No No. He is one of the dumbest, ignorant, and uninformed individuals I've ever met. I've encountered him before. He kills brain cells. He's even beneath Jason Whitlock, and that is hard to do. I've turned down doing his show directly. Jesse Lee Peterson is a grifting real Elmer Fudd. That means he is beneath me in every intellectual category, and I can't even believe PBD would even ask me to appear with that dumbass. So, I had extended an invite 6 years ago when Candace was running her mouth. Her and Charlie Kirk. I have no desire to talk to Candace Owens. There will not be an invite extended to Candace Owens. Because Candace, you said all you need to say about black people. We heard you loud and clear. You can now try to blame the media. You can now try to say, well, my words were twisted. But the reality is, you said it. It came out of your mouth. And so, you can, by all means, you can keep your unseasoned chicken. By all means, you can keep your jacked up edges. By all means, Candace, you can have your potato salad with raisins in it. By all means, you can have your pumpkin pie instead of sweet potato pie. By all means, you can stay exactly where you are in Nashville with your husband, and you can sit here and keep spouting off the nonsense that you always say. But what you will not do is come on this show and show your face and bring your weak, tired, incoherent, nonsensical, trifling comments that have dismissed, denigrated, and degraded black people for the last several years. I hope you made a lot of money doing what you did. I hope that the show that you were engaged in was quite successful for you. But what will not happen is if you're going to come on here and use this show and use this audience as an effort to rehabilitate your trash image. Run along, Candace. You made it clear you didn't care for black people. You made it clear who you were comfortable with. So by all means, stay with them, because we have absolutely no use for you in our pursuit to end inequality and to fight for justice and for righteousness when it comes to people of African descent in this country. All skin folk ain't kinfolk, and you absolutely will be rejected at any cookout.
Now, Roland's segment surprised me because I knew she got fired from the Daily Wire. I didn't know she got fired from Turning Point USA and PragerU. They all just banded together to boot her out on her ASS. That's why she's desperate. That's why she's desperate to try to associate herself with the black community now. She has nothing. Nothing. And I love this for her. If you have not seen the segment, go on over to YouTube, search out Roland Martin. The segment is about 2.5 hours long. They talked about other issues and topics, but the portion where he calls out Candace Owens, listening to Roland Martin allowed me to know that I was on the right track in my thinking on Candace Owens. I'll see y'all later.
Nope. She not gonna do it. Listen, last year, Candace Owens
put this out there.
It wasn't Kanye West that put the White Lives Matter t-shirt on first. You did. You did by intentionally ignoring what Black Lives Matter would actually mean if it was applied. It would mean taking a look at the real problem that is happening, which is our culture. A celebration of perversity pitched to us as if it's diversity. It's not. It is not diversity that we are celebrating. It is perversity. You think that it's something to be proud of. It's not. So when you say something like, oh, Candace Owens, we don't want you in our culture. You don't understand Black culture. I have to keep reminding you that I don't want to be a part of this culture. I want to go backward. Your idea.
Listen, I'm not back yet. I'm not back yet. And thank y'all so much for all of the love that you are showing me over on my Venmo and my Cash App. I really do appreciate it. I'm not back yet, but that's what Candace Owens said a year ago. A year ago, Candace Owens said that she did not want to be a part of our community, that she did not want to be a part of Black culture. A year ago, Candace Owens said that. That video went viral of Candace Owens denouncing the Black community and telling the world that she didn't want to be a part of her own community. Okay? This was my response to it.
I don't know about you, but I love this. I love the fact that Candace Owens is coming out publicly and stating that she does not want to be a part of the Black community and Black culture. It just makes me so giddy inside to know that every single day Candace Owens is tortured by her Black skin. No matter how hard Candace Owens wishes and prays, no matter how hard she shucks and jives, no matter how she chooses to denigrate the Black community, talk down about the Black community, no matter what it is that she does, she will always be associated with the Black community and Black culture because of that melanated skin. It just makes me giddy because I envision Candace being awakened at night, pissed off because she's associated with the Black community and Black culture because of that Black skin. I revel in the fact in knowing that for as long as Candace Owens has that Black skin, she knows she will never be fully accepted by them. They will always look at her as just another N-word. So Candace, keep shucking and jiving. No days off. Don't miss a beat, because the minute that you do, they will kick you out.
Who knew that it would only be a year later that Candace Owens got kicked out? She missed a beat with her shucking and jiving. And she got fired. Right? And it was timed perfectly. When she got fired, she was over there on Joe Budden's podcast, and she was on The Breakfast Club. And I didn't know this. I didn't see this. RonaldMartins posted this. Some kind of way he got this from Candace Owens' story over on Instagram. This right here. Candace Owens at some point put this in her Instagram, and RonaldMartins got a snapshot of it, and he has put it up over on his Instagram account, because he did a whole segment tonight on Candace Owens. I haven't watched it yet. I've heard people talking about it. I'll watch it tomorrow. But this reads, the most brutal smears I ever faced was the media's attempt to convince Black people, my own community, that I hated them. Finally, Black America is recognizing that they were intentionally misled. This is thanks in large part to the Breakfast Club interview and Joe Budden. Candace Owens, no, because a year ago, you said you did not want to be a part of this community, a part of this culture. And here you are. They kicked your ass out. And now you want to claim the culture as your community? Bitch, please. Go play in somebody else's face. We don't want you. You're not welcome back into our community. Just read the comments. You can go kick rocks with no shoes on. You can go jump off a cliff. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. You are not welcome back. Not into this community. No. Go on over to the ones that have been stroking you and putting you up while you denigrated and disrespected the black community. That's what you do.
Straight facts, no chaser. I told you guys I was going to make a video as to why Candace Owens could never be invited to the cookout. Her video with PragerU about slavery, teaching our kids and the world this slanted bullshit. Yeah, I'm about to break it down in 5, 4, 3, 2, let's go.
And now for a brief history of slavery. Here's the first thing you need to know. Slavery was not invented by white people. It did not start in 1619 when the first slaves came to Jamestown. It existed before then.
Stop right there. She said slavery wasn't invented by white people. You see invented in quotation marks. Nobody ever said white people invented slavery. What the fuck does that got to do with there being chattel slavery in America created by white Europeans? You see how she's out here generalizing slavery. We know slavery wasn't created by white people. Why? Because it's in the Bible. And the Bible is not about white people. It's about people of color. Jesus was not white. Shock, huh? Well, then get the fuck up out of your shock. Facts are facts. You can look in the Bible. It literally says that the hair looked like wool and feet bronze. Where the fuck have you seen a white person with a bronze foot? That's what I thought. So why are you telling people the generalities of slavery? I'll tell you why. Because white racist people want to blame black people and people of color for the invention of slavery. So therefore, they're not at fault for taking part in something that people of color created. No, you don't get to exonerate yourself from what you did in America just because somebody else did it somewhere else. Those people are dealing with those people's problems. America's dealing with America's problems. So keep your fucking generalities. Let's speak about chattel slavery. Fuck slavery altogether, because guess what? There are 5 forms minimum of slavery. Chattel slavery was America's hell. And trust and believe, other countries tried chattel slavery as well, but not like America perfected that shit. And that's what we're dealing with. So these generalities are trying to water down, whitewash what happened. Take a little of the sting, the guilt away from white people and put it on other people of color. Now, fuck that. Let's push Candace aside and let's speak to the racist white puppet masters that's got her out here speaking. Take responsibility of what you did in this country. We're not worried about what the fuck happened in other countries. This one is where you face up to your fuck-ups. Don't try to push them off on everybody else. Those forms of slavery are not the same as America's evil form of slavery. Now let's get to the 5 different forms of slavery, seeing as how you guys don't really want to fucking educate. You want to obfuscate. Put it on somebody else's shoulders. You weak motherfucker should take your responsibility like a man. Instead, you act like a little bitch. Let's get it. There are a minimum of 5 forms of slavery. One being debt slavery. It's also called indentured servitude. The second form is the enslavement of war captives. Very much self-explanatory. Third, military slavery. Simple enough. Fourth, criminal slavery. What they did to black people once they were set free. Create Jim Crow laws so that we would be breaking the law just by existing outside of their plantation to get us back on it for free by being criminals this time. That's what criminal slavery is. And the 5th, chattel slavery. Even chattel slavery itself was split because chattel slavery in other countries was not the same as it was in America. Now, when she says slavery wasn't created by white people, she's talking about those other forms of slavery. But she's mixing them together. Why? Because her white masters told her to do so. Because she was reading off of shit and she wasn't dealing with actual fucking facts. Only with white feelings. What do I say about white feelings? Fuck them! That's what I say. Deal with the facts. We all can deal with our feelings on some shit. But the facts are, in a new world, which is now called North America, United States, white people created chattel slavery. Yes, they did. They brought it here. in their form of chattel slavery is not the same as other countries that use chattel slavery. That's the facts. Go look them up. I challenge you. What Candace Owens and PragerU is trying to spew is combining all variations of slavery into a generality. That way they can escape responsibility for their version of slavery. Chattel slavery was one of the most horrific forms of slavery. It was masterfully put together, laws built around it. Did you know Hitler copied slavery in America? No other form, America's form. They studied it just so they can do to the Jewish people what they had done to black people. Yeah, that's true history. But what PragerU and Candace is trying to do is conflate everything. So therefore they don't have responsibility for their version of slavery in history. And that's why I would never fuck with PU. I fuck with facts, straight facts, no chaser. Fuck your feelings. This concludes part 1 of breaking down Candace Owens and PragerU's video about the history of slavery. There's so many more lies and half-truths that I have to fix. So look out for part 2. Peace. Straight facts, no chaser. This is part 2 of Candace Owens' video that we're breaking down as to why this woman would never be invited to the cookout. Let's get it.
It did not start in 1492 when Columbus discovered the New World.
Like I told y'all, it was a wave. Fact, slavery didn't start in 1492. Correct. Now let me give you that lie. Christopher Columbus discovered a new world. No, he did not. No, he did not.
In fact, when the intrepid explorer landed in the Bahamas, the native Taino tribe hoped that he would help them defeat their aggressive neighbors, the Caribs.
Now, think about this for a second. Christopher Columbus lands, meaning the first time he ever arrived, in the Bahamas, and the tribe, which doesn't speak their language, wants you to help them go to war with another tribe. Say what? Don't you want to learn the language first? Exactly. None of this shit makes sense.
The Caribs enslaved the Taino and, on occasion, served them for dinner.
Let me just give you a simple today scenario. If I happen to just drive down a street and I see a house and I say, I'm going to land in your driveway. When I walk up to the door and decide to open that bitch, are you welcoming to me or do you want to take me out? You've never seen a black person in your life, but you're going to welcome me and try and speak my language. And I try to speak yours. And you're just going to say, you know what? My neighbor's been fucking with me. This fence I want to go down. Come help me fight my neighbor. And they eat people too. And we're just going to have a drink and get together and decide to go at war with another tribe. Oh yeah, they enslave people as well. Do you understand how this sounds stupid as fuck? Yeah, that's because it is. So I'm just going to land at your crib and you're going to try and enlist me into a war when you don't even know if I'm a threat or not. Come on in, buddy. Help me fight these other people. You seem to be nice enough. You don't eat people, do you? The idea that she put in slavery between these two warring tribes is what form of slavery? Enslavement of captives, right? Exactly. It's not chattel slavery. It's not what white people did to black people. Not in the least. But see, this whole thing's about whitewashing it and making it seem like all slavery is equal. It's not. Don't be fooled by the whitewash with a black face. Let's continue down this path of how they try to make these tribes seem like cannibals and negative people. This is Columbus's account of 1492 voyage. Christopher Columbus wrote, "There I found very many islands filled with innumerable people, and I have taken possession of them all for their highness, done by proclamation and with the royal standard unfurled, and no opposition was offered to me." Listen to that account. He's saying that he took somebody's land and he got no opposition offered to him. Why wouldn't these people have opposition? At least one of them would, right? You would think. I told you this shit was hard to believe. And listen to this, you'll believe it even less. Unlike their neighbors to the north, the Caribs attacked the Europeans and were reputed to be fierce cannibals, Keegan said. But there's no evidence that the ancestors of modern Caribs were ever cannibals. Now, did you notice something a little different here? He wrote back to the king talking about they gave up their land without a fight. But the ones who gave a fight, and rightfully so, who the fuck are you coming onto my land? Like I said, most people would do if you stepped into my house, you're gonna get a fight. They called those people cannibals. Why? Because they fought back and didn't give the land up the way they wanted. So you have to understand, again, what was their mission? To come and steal people's lands. And what do you do with people that you want to take their land? You have to paint them as bad. Therefore, you can just steal their land because they're just uncouth people. They break the laws of being cannibals. Now let's see if there's any evidence of that. We searched ChatGPT for this. Additionally, Europeans had a vested interest in portraying indigenous peoples as savage or barbaric to justify their colonization efforts. Exactly. It becomes clear, correct? You can't trust what Christopher Columbus wrote down about anybody that he encountered because his mission was to steal their land by any means necessary. If they give them up, they're cool. If they fight back, they're barbaric cannibals, and we can justify exterminating them. Yeah, makes you question history altogether. Everything you've been taught. Do you understand that Europeans were cannibals? It's been going on in Europe since ancient Europe. Christopher Columbus, his people were cannibals. Do you understand? This whole clip was to lie to you and give credit to Christopher Columbus for something he never fucking did. Tell you the truth that 1492 had nothing to do with slavery starting. Fact. Then to go on and tell you that Christopher Columbus landed in the Bahamas and somehow knew how to speak one of the tribe's language. Landed meaning the first time, not a thing. Then go on to tell you that the tribe that was there tried to enlist them into a war that they had nothing to do with, but never had fear of Christopher Columbus and these pale-faced people they had never seen with strange clothes on. Yeah. And then to say that one tribe was cannibal and bad, when Europeans were worse and cannibals too. You don't see the whitewashing here. Dark skin bad, white good. What can I say? I speak facts. Straight facts. No chaser. Fuck your feelings.
So this is all I got from the stitches, and uh-oh, what happened? Sorry about that. I think the light just went up. So you all already know how it's been going, that a lot of people are still not finding it funny with what Candace Owens did, like what she has done so far in Black community and all that, and being so anti-Black and the rest of it. And that also reminds me of what she did during the period when they said slavery was beneficial to slaves, how she actually came out. Sorry about that. How she actually came out to, like, make, she brought out so many videos from PragerU and all that, and was trying so hard to defend PragerU, defend Florida, and a whole lot of things, Sincerely speaking, I do not blame anybody saying that they are not letting Candace Owens and Black community, telling anybody that I am not going to support Candace Owens for what she has done. The truth is that she has not even apologized, right? Since then, but she has just been putting up some posts and trying to see what she actually posted on her Instagram. And RonaldMartins was able to grab that, and she was like, the most brutal smells I ever faced was the media attempting to convince Black people, my own community. The last I checked, Candace Owens, I am not sure she actually accepted or believed that she is a Black person or she came from Black community, because everything she has done or still doing to this very moment has always been against Black community. The truth is that I really do not know how much she got paid for all those she did, like all those period, right? I don't know how much she got paid, but there is something I keep saying, sometimes you think that you are doing yourself great, especially when you know that what you are doing is not right. Candace Owens knew right from the onset that what she was doing wasn't right, but she continued doing it because it was probably fetching her money, and probably she got a lot of jobs to do with some colored people and all that. So to her, she felt like she was on top of the world, right? And now this has turned around. The person that actually said that she should never, nobody should say that she is from Black community. She has done so many things, like putting on white sweatshirt to say that our lives, palm color life, so many horrible things that she has done as a person. And now she is saying that who really told Black people that she, hated them. And finally, Black Americans is recognizing that they were intentionally misled. That is thanks in large part of the Breakfast Club interview, Andrew. But like, really, who is even like who even telling you that nobody were not misled? You in person actually told us how you detest your own community and how you do not want to be your part of your own community. How all of a sudden you lost your job. Now you remember that you have a community. I think you should not even bother, not even for a minute, to come back to that community. Go back to the community where they've already accepted you or where you feel like you are from, because she in Canada, I don't even know, like, she in Canada also made it look like she is also pump colored. I don't know how she was also brainwashed and made to believe that she is not part of us, to the extent that she was doing so many collaboration with Charlie Kirk and so many people, Charlemagne, and the people you see her associate with are the people that do not want the best interest of my own community, So how do you want us to? It is not even how, because from the beginning, we already saw it that you do not want us. So still, Black people are saying it that you also do not want them. But because something happened to you, now you want to fall back. I mean, you want Black community to be your, your footrest, like the place you are going to fall back and all that. And everybody's saying no. I mean, that you have done so much harm to the community and there is no need bringing you into the community. So just keep going. Do I blame anybody? Sincerely speaking, I do not blame anybody, not even for a minute, because how did they say that? Once bitten, twice shy and all that. So continue being in that community with those people that have really supported you, because if we have not done anything for you, we've not that was what she said, we are not useful to her, So go back to the people that are useful to you and continue with them. You need someone to fall back on. You need people to help you build back your career. We are not part of it. So I see a lot of reasons why Black people all came out in mass to say that this is never ever going to happen. I remember that someone from other community was trying to push her back to us, like we do not know what is good from what is bad, or we do not know what is left from right. When somebody think they can push you they can push you around to do what you are not supposed to do, and it's really very demeaning that someone from another community is coming out to tell us what to do in our own community when he left his own community burning. Instead of him to attend to his own community, he is actually out here trying to tell us how to handle our thing. And a very big shout out to RonaldMartins for all he's doing for Black community at large. I really do appreciate that man. He is a great man. He is doing amazingly well for himself. And a lot of people actually look up to him. A lot of people look up to him. So I appreciate him coming up to speak on that, because I remember somebody saying that, why is it that Candace Owens always go to other people for interview, but has never been to RonaldMartins show to speak on what it's going speak on whatever she want to speak about when it comes to Black community. And a lot of people were like, she will never ever try that. She will never ever. That RonaldMartins was just going to probably chase her away from the studio. And you know how blunt he is. He is really a very, he says it the way it is and all that. And yeah, that is why a lot of people also love him and all that. So yeah, it is what it is. And a very big shout out to Sister Tabitha. I love her content. She is doing well. And No Chaser is also an amazing content creator. I appreciate every one of them. And let me know what you all think in the comment section. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye for now.